And so, regarding yesterday's short video I took, on about, it basically was two men on separate occasions viewing properties where I live. Only a small estate. I was sat outside with a tin of beer. The lady next door was sat outside in the garden. On both occasions, the men came past me, spoke to me, and then looked at the tin. These were men in the 60s. I actually thought men that maybe would have known a little bit better. But then, without so much as hello, goodbye, they passed on to the lady, walked next door, and talked regarding the properties. The lady has only just arrived. I've been there 7, 8 years. It's not that I'm getting at. What I'm getting at here is the simple, judgmental opinion of British people. It's so very, very sad. I lived in parts of the world like Australia where a tinny is a tinny. I don't think it probably is today, knowing the Australians, the way their culture's changed. But a tinny was a tinny, and a tinny was something you drunk your beer out of, it wasn't something you poured into a glass. Very rare you drunk it out of the tin, and it was acceptable. I've lived in Bremen in Germany, where the brewery itself, Beck's Brewery, actually recommends you drink from the bottle. You don't pour it in a glass. The bottle is designed for you to drink from it. It just beggars belief, our attitude this day and age, and how we judge people, and how we're manipulated by not just the mainstream media, but by just in general, the governments manipulate, twist. The guys in Parliament sat there with a pint or two, dozens of them, pint after pint. I think one occasion someone told me about Cyril Smith, who was drinking 30 pints a day. Acceptable then, but not anymore. You watch the big dinners and with a monarchy there, and they're all drinking out of fine wine glasses and drinking the finest champagnes and all that. It's just pathetic that we can't stand up for our own rights to be judged as we're judged. I'm actually in front of a committee today to actually, I wouldn't say give evidence, but it is evidence in one sense, regarding an event that took place. Now, my daily routine is get up in the morning, like I'm out now. I'm out at Derwentwater. I'm lucky enough to live close by. It's a beautiful morning. I have a short walk, very short on this occasion, take a few photographs. I go home, I've already had a bit of breakfast. I go home, I'll have some cheese and probably some biscuits. And then around 11, 12, I have 3 or 4 beers, depending on the weather, but usually around lunchtime. Those 3 or 4 beers are followed by my lunch. My lunch is then, I know it's not really a good thing, especially in the stuff I follow, to sleep after eating. But after I've eaten, those 2 or 3 hours sleep are the only hours I get in the day that aren't riddled with nightmares. It's anything after that. If I go back to bed at 9 or whatever, it's just a light sleep with continual nightmares. I've had them all night last night, regarding everything from falling off a cliff to, I'm not even going to go through them all, but what I'm saying is, those 3 hours in the afternoon, 2, 3 hours after lunch, I don't get anything. I just wake up after me 2 or 3 hours and I feel refreshed. Sometimes I feel a little bit down, but that sleep has given me solid sleep. I've gone off into the unmanifested for the only 2 or 3 hours of the day that I do it. Because any sleep after that, like I say, is riddled with nightmares. So when people judge and when people say this or when people suggest this or when people look at you in a certain way, and I know we shouldn't bother and I don't bother. I bother about the future of this country when I'm saying this. I'm bothered about how people judge people just because of the clothes they wear, because of the length of their hair, because of you know what I'm saying. We talk about discrimination. The biggest discrimination in this country is between the rich and the poor. It's not between nationalities. It's between the rich and the poor. The super well off to those who haven't got a pot to piss in. Yeah. I haven't got much else to say. I just thought I'd pop in for a bit. I've been lying low for a while. I had a break last week down the Ambleside. Got some stunning weather like this. And managed to chill out, have a few pints. In a glass, so no one judged me.